Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Anything But Hold'em. Today, I am playing one of the daily tournaments that I've been talking about a little bit on the stream. This one is the Daily 08. I'm just noticing that Elrond isn't speaking for some reason. I think I've got an issue with the Second Life thing. I'm just going to turn him off for the time being, and we'll get him out of here. So let's get him out of there. Get him out of there. Alrighty, yes, we are in the daily Omaha high-low, which is a $27 Omaha high-low. I was playing some satellites today and just got into a ticket on this. Ended up jumping in about an hour and a bit late. There's 2 hours late reg in these, but I've been doing pretty well since I got in. I came pretty much tripled up my starting stack. We start with 5,000 in these, and hit a couple of pretty fortunate hands where I've had people betting into me with, betting into me with weaker hands. It's as simple as that. A couple times I've drawn out on the river with with the low straights, and scooped pots that way, which is of course one of the things that I'm always sort of looking for. So yeah, it's been pretty good. We are currently sitting 6th of 44. Late reg should be closing very shortly. Yes, late reg ends in 10 minutes, so we're pretty much at the end. It was a total of 75 people entered. There's 44 left in. Total prize pool is $1,841.25, and that leaves first place taking home $506.39. Currently a min cash of 10th to 12th, 12 places pay, of course, is $46.03 on your $27 entry. As I said, I got into this on a satellite. I played a $3.85 satellite and ended up winning a ticket through that. Double suited, ace four, ace jack queen. Yeah, I definitely want to see. I probably should have raised that, to be perfectly honest with you. Now that I look at it, I think I need to be paying more attention to what's actually going on the board, because that's actually a fairly strong hand, and I want to have the both protection and value raising pre-flop. This is actually one that I think I want to get some money in with. It's a pretty good flop for our hand. We've hit top pair with top kicker, and we've got a second nut low draw to go along with that. Ace deuce, of course, has got our ass kicked, but no reason to think that the big blind is sitting with ace deuce, so no reason to expect that that's going to be a problem for us. So yeah, 15,000 in chips, starting with 5. I'm pretty happy with the way this is going so far, obviously. Still a long ways to go before anybody gets paid anything, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. 42 people left in the tournament now. I'm still sitting 6th. Currently, stakes are 501,000. Going to 600 at 1,200 next round. No antes in this, which is, I wonder if there's any antes ever in this. Never any antes in this being a fixed limit. That's rather interesting. I know in pot limit there's never any antes. I'm sure there's antes in a lot of fixed limit games, so I'm kind of surprised there isn't in this one. But that's cool. Of course, what the difference between a no ante and an ante tournament means, other than the fact that, of course, it makes it easier for dealers to calculate the pot when there's no ante, which is why pot limit tournaments don't have antes in them. But the other main difference between a tournament with antes and without antes is that without antes, you can sit and wait a lot longer for a hand than you can when there's antes. In general, and this is a generalization, of course it varies as the level of the ante goes up and down through the tournaments and with different structures and things like that, but in general, in antes, you're going to pay an entire extra big blind every round. So rather than paying one small blind and one big blind every orbit. You're going to pay one small blind, one big blind, and then a second big blind in all of the antes that you put in the other hands where you're not putting in a small blind or a big blind. Um, and that's a significant amount of chips that you're throwing in. So when there's no antes, you can really play yourself a lot tighter and not have to be involved nearly as often, nearly as quickly. If you're down at a small stack, like 8 or 10 big blinds, you can sit on that a heck of a lot longer than you can in a tournament with antes usually. So yeah, just some little strategy tips. Always good to look at that whether you're gonna be paying antes or not. Of course, antes also increase the value of the pot, so therefore makes the value of in position raises much higher, and therefore something that you should do with a wider range of hands typically. Without the antes, taking the blinds, taking the small blind, the big blind is, I mean, it's obviously significant, and you obviously want to do it, but it's not nearly as significant a gain of chips. So it's not something that you're necessarily going to risk as much. Now, of course, in a fixed limit game, stealing blinds and antes is not something that you really do a huge amount, simply because you've got limited amounts that you can raise. Of course, it's a fixed limit game, and then you're done. Um, Alrighty, that's another person out. So we're down to 41 left in the tournament, I think. Oh no, 43. People are still going up. A late registration still isn't quite over yet. So probably a lot of people watching the PCA right now. I'm actually watching the PCA as well on the super high roller stream. Got the sound turned off at the moment, but I'm having to watch that. It's a lot of fun to watch guys playing for $100,000. A lot of fun to be playing the daily fixed limit Omaha high low as well. Uh, this is a hand that you obviously want to get involved in, most likely in a high game. But I think with no low hand, it's just really not something that I want to necessarily push on. I Being in position, I probably should have. This far stronger, obviously. It would be nicer if the 7 was a spade instead of a diamond, but I'll take what I can get. Just one suited or one nutted suit is very nice with an ace king and a pair of aces. The A7 low draw, obviously, I'm not thrilled about. But one of the one of the things, the quirks about Omaha high low that you gotta think about is that the flop can sometimes dictate that there's not going to be a low hand. So your low draw makes far less difference a lot of times than it does in a stud high-low type context, for example. So we're obviously raising this pair of aces in any Omaha context. You're pretty much wanting to raise. We're still good for our low. Obviously, we didn't hit any diamonds, but I think I'm still putting money in this pot. The spades we don't like hugely, but if we hit an ace, we've obviously capped the spades, so we do still have a full house draw. If he has spades, I think we're just giving chips to him at this point. We don't have a low draw. Basically, I've got a pair of aces at this point with the nut blocker. I'm going to try to push him off this, thinking that I've got the nut spades. Wow. Wow. What a hand. What a hand. Might be a nice example hand as to why you don't get involved with weak low draws. Not that the low draw played a point in that, but That's sarcastic, of course. I mean, I don't really think that you can ever not consider getting involved with a nutted suit, pair of aces, and an ace king. I mean, you put all those things together, and there's just really no way you're getting away from that hand. I don't think. I suppose down the road as the spades come out, I probably could have gone having the ace of spades there. I mean, I was obviously trying to rep the nut. I was not putting him on a full house. That's a pretty random six deuce pretty random full house that he's on there. I mean, I suppose there was a number of full houses out there that were less random than that, but the point being, um, I'm really looking at trying to push him off a smaller flush. There was the raise at the end. Didn't work. It's gonna happen. Obviously, it didn't work because he's got a full house, so he's not gonna get pushed off a lower flush, obviously. But clearly his full house was not afraid of my bluffed nut flush raise. I actually think he doesn't have to have spades there or a full house a lot of times to play the hand the way he did. If he's got a busted low draw, I think he's going to play it that way, knowing that or thinking that he can't win it any other way. Um, so yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of reasons for me to have played it the way that to be involved and to play it that way, and I think I probably do it again in a similar way. Oh, 8 9 deuce 5. I think this early in position, I'm just getting rid of that. I think. I'm not usually too. I don't really look at. I don't really look at this for previous hands to see whether I hit or not. But sometimes it's instructive to see where things would have gone. There's no low draw here. I think though with the pair of kings, I definitely got to see a flop. That's obviously not sort of flop that I want to see with the ace on it. People are gonna have aces on this ace deuce on a regular basis, so I think I'm out of the way here. It's actually interesting. I've been using a new HUD recently. I gotta see. I don't know how. I wonder if that's why a lot of the other poker streamers stream a full screen rather than individual windows the way I do. Because I'm noticing that my Javaro, I've been using the new Javaro HUD. Jamie Staples has been using it on the Poker Staples channel recently, and he's been supported by it. Or he's on their promotional staff, I guess. Now I'm not on their promotional staff, obviously, but I like it, and he's right. It's a great visual. It's a great visual tool for the streaming experience. Um, that said, it has to actually be visual on the stream for it to be a great uh, visual experience for the stream. I think again, this is another spot. I'm double suited. I'm double not suited. A pair of aces. There's really no. Yes, the low draw is not great, but I can't. I'm. There we go. Where there's no low draw. I don't obviously have a draw to the nuts, but I've got top two pair, And the only thing that's beating me right now is two queens or two kings or a king queen, and none of those are on the hand. He was obviously playing a low that had no chance to win, and got out of the hand once he sees that he's never gonna win the hand. Now this is a hand that um, is a lot more high lowy in its sort of deal. I think I definitely want to see a flop and see what sort of potential. If there's an ace on the flop, this deuce three is wicked strong for low. Um, five. I'm going to see one more street here. That was not the fourth street I was looking for. Get out of here, I think. That was not the turn card we were looking for. Pair of deuces with a deuce seven. I don't think that's something that I really want to get involved with at this stage. It's in light enough position that I probably could have tried it, but no low possible at all here, so we're getting out of the way. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to block off the screen there. That did not work the way I expected it to. Two suits, neither of them nutted. I think I want to see a flop on that. I arguably could raise there. We're a little early position to be raising that kind of hand. I'm a bit surprised that Habibi didn't get involved in the pot, actually. He seems to be calling us a lot. This is the main reason why I don't raise, though, necessarily, is because a lot of times the big blind is going to just throw in a raise, and I don't want to be playing for three bets. I want to only be playing for two bets. Um, without flopping a ace deuce four of hearts, there's not a lot of other flops that I'm going to like more than this one, given my hand. I've got second pair. I've got a flush draw. I've got a low draw still if it comes out. Yeah, so I mean, I'm pretty happy, obviously, with this situation. Just hit a pair of sixes, and we're still drawing to our low. So I think I'm still happy to put money in the pot here. We're still drawing to our flush. We hit our flush with a paired card, which means the full house could have our flush beat or a higher flush, obviously, than our 6-5. But he's not playing like he was on a flush draw. I don't think he's playing flush. I think he's actually playing a low. He's on a busted low now, and he's swearing at me because I'm betting, and he wanted to see what I was playing, and he can't call because he's got no high, and he's got a busted low, and yeah, I'm almost positive that's what happened. I can go look at the hand history, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. It's possible that this is obviously a hand we're gonna get involved with, and we're gonna raise here. It's strong enough that we got nut hearts. Um, TFL's re-raised us here. I'm gonna guess that's a high pair, but there's really no way I can go anywhere until I see a flop on this. So I've got the nut low. I really don't think I'm going anywhere. Not low draw, I should say. I don't have a low yet. I should I should clarify. I don't think I'm going anywhere. I could probably try to raise, but I have a feeling that he's gonna get into a raising war with me, and he's probably got my high beat at this point. I think, um, given that I don't actually have a high at this point. So I think I'm just gonna be check calling through here a lot and just see what happens when the river comes. We still don't have a low, so we still don't actually have a hand. That does not give us a hand. We've got ace high, pair of sixes, ace high. Um, yeah, calling behind is. It's actually quite surprising that he played that way. Actually, to be honest, but okay, no, that's cool. I'm happy to let him play it that way. I suppose he did have the ace queen and the ace deuce, so yeah, okay, that's cool. Josh, how's it going, man? Yeah, no, I think you're probably right, Josh. And welcome. It's good to have you hanging out with us. Good to have you back, buddy. So this is our first attempt at one of the dailies. Well, first attempt on stream. I've actually played this one a while back and didn't do very well at it. Um, but I got high hopes for today. I'm expecting to get through the money today at least and go fairly deep. I'm feeling good about this one. I'm feeling good about my thought process so far today, and feeling good about how it's going. Just got Jamie Staples' stream up as well as the PCA. Yeah, I should have been. I knew I should have been involved in that pot. Yep. I feel like an idiot. Oh well, that's the way it goes. Of course, I'm not involved in this because there's no low draw, but um, I'm not really gonna. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't not be involved in stuff like that. I think that was a bad fold. Two pair, queens and sevens takes it down. I should have had that with my flush. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. So yeah, it looks like Jamie is still deep in the mini F Tops 10 game that's going on today. I didn't get into that one. I wasn't able to secure a ticket for it. Um, but here we are playing the $27 daily fixed limit Omaha high low instead. So currently 32 people remaining. The registration is long closed now. Well, I suppose not long closed. I think it's about 11 minutes closed at this point. So a total of 83 people ended up in this for a total prize pool of $2,037.65. Um, I'm currently sitting 18th of the 31 remaining players. And prizes up top, we have $560.40 for first place. 12 places get paid out. A min cash is $50.94, and that goes to 10th from 10th to 12th gets paid at $50.94. Also playing a PSO Premier League off to the side. Did fairly well in the league this month. I had a couple of really good results right at the beginning, and I was actually sitting third on the second day of play. I've dropped quite a bit since then. I'm in the like 35th or 30th or something, but I'm hoping to have a deep run in the Premier League this month as well. So hoping that January is gonna kick off to a good start with my poker. This is looking good. Winning a ticket into the daily Omaha high low. This is one of the dailies I've been targeting. Thank you very much, Josh. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. This is one of the tournaments that I've been targeting to get into because I think it's one of the ones that I have some skills in the game and perhaps an edge in certain spots. I don't think it's the one that I'm necessarily the biggest edge in. I think that would either be a Raz or a stud high-low, or a horse perhaps, all of which I'm also kind of focusing some attention on. So I'm sure we'll see all those as the time goes on as well. Thank you, Josh Man. Thank you, Josh Man. I will see what I can do for killing him. I actually said I was going to try a live stream the last time I was on here. Instead of having the delay, I was going to come out and do it live. But the truth is, I completely forgot to change my settings before I went live today. So we're still on the 3-minute delay, and the truth is, I'm actually fairly happy about that because in this tournament, I think I just feel more comfortable on a delay. It's kind of silly, I know, because no one's really watching, but who knows? People could be watching. Alrighty, a pair of eights with nutted spades and an ace four for low. I think I'm getting involved in this for sure. The question is, do you raise or do you call? I think that in the sort of Omaha high-low context, you're going to see a fair amount, especially in the fixed limit, you're going to see a fair amount of limping pre-flop because you don't really have a hand until the flop comes down, and getting into pre-flop raising wars, um, usually going to be fairly counterproductive for at least one of the people involved in the raising war there. So not getting involved in those wars is usually one of the kind of things that you want to do. Right. So the ace coming down obviously doesn't do great things for our hand. It really cripples our low draw possibilities. I think with just a pair of aces, I really don't think that this is a hand I can continue with now. I think probably even calling the 800 was a mistake now that I'm looking at it and going, because I'm playing an 8-6-5-4 ace at the moment, and that's just not going to win me. Yeah, I don't think that I'm ahead on either end of this pot. Yeah, I was in bad shape. I was in bad shape on both of those on both ends. Probably a good thing that I got out of the way. Obviously, for the odds, I can't get rid of the hand here. I don't really have a low that I'm terribly happy with, but things like this can happen, which basically gives me um, the open-ended straight draw. Um, yeah, so I'm obviously fairly happy with what's going on here. We got the 8, 9, 10 jack open-ended straight, but we've also got wraps and things. That gives us our straight 7, 8, 9, 10 jack. And we've also got the full house draw to come out as well. We're obviously not running any lows, but Deuce 3, Queen 7. I think we need to get involved with that. The Deuce 3 is a strong enough low. Obviously don't like all the diamonds out there, but not really much you can do about that. That's clearly not a great flop for our hand. Was probably not even worth a continuing on the flop in any way, really. I'm going to put in a position raise here. I'm obviously not thrilled with the hand, but I think I can take this down pre-flop a fair amount of the time. And I think when I don't, I have other ways to win it afterwards as well against somebody with a smaller stack who doesn't want to keep putting chips in. I think I'm pretty much shutting down at this point. It doesn't look like he's going anywhere. The ace deuce is obviously going to take me out here. I figured I had at least a chance for the low draw there, which is why I called. I was pretty sure I was at best splitting, and I might have been giving him the whole thing, but yeah. Not thrilled with the low draw here, obviously, but I think that the nutted hearts and the 7-5 suited connector is strong enough that we're raising for value here, as opposed to the previous one, which was more of a steal raise. So we hit ace king, which is nice, but obviously not the strongest hand in the world when you've got ace king queen on the flop there. And especially not when a deuce of spades comes out and completes the spade draw. So pretty much every draw that beats our two pairs out there. That said, I don't think we can go anywhere. And that's why we can't go anywhere, because a lot of times he's there with the same ace king, and we actually take all of the lows, so we quarter him, which is almost as good as scooping a pot. I think this is another one we want to get in with. The deuce 3-6 is going to be a very strong low draw on a lot of flops, so I think that it's something that you want to see. It's going to hit straights a lot and hit straight draws a lot. Obviously, when flops like that come down, it's not something that we want to do. And I think that to aggression on a flop like that from the blinds, I'm pretty sure, yes, from the big blind, he's obviously hit something pretty strong there. A couple of two pair, king at least. You got to think. So, given that my hand was mostly a low draw, and I'm not, there's really nothing for me to do there. Be more inclined to play this in an Omaha high scenario, but in the high-low, there's no low possibility there, so I'm just going to get out of the way most of the time. Alrighty. I I think even with the pair of sevens, I suppose with the nutted clubs there, that changes the calculation a little bit. The ace seven's just going to be pretty weak. Just going to be too weak too often, I think. Just got moved to another table, so I don't know any of the people. Nope, don't know anybody at this table, so it'll be interesting to get to know some people as we go on. I'm liking the 4-5-6 here. I'm liking the two suits, so we'll see what we get. Pairing the queen's not a horrible thing, obviously. I think I need to see one more street here at least. Not thrilled with the raise. I'm happy that Furyhill didn't three bet it. So that gives me a lot of wrap straight possibilities. Basically, any 4, 5, or 6 now gives me a straight and also gives me a reasonable low. I've also now got the heart draw. So I think I'm putting money in the pot in this case fairly often. Going to be calling the raise as well. This may be our last hand. No, that gives us our straight 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm pretty happy to say that I've got at least half this pot. We might be splitting the high. There might be somebody else out there with a 5-6, but I really don't think that I can do anything but get all my money in here. Yeah, and I was pretty sure that I was going to be taking a good portion of that pot. Obviously, I didn't know exactly how much, but yeah, I knew that my high was going to be good a lot of the time. So didn't know that my low was going to be good very often, and as we see, it wasn't good at all. But that moves me up into 7th spot overall out of 22 left in the tournament. So things are whittling down. Just saw Noah Schwartz on the PCA feature table with Daniel Negreanu. Looks like a hell of a table. Like Bill Perkins is Omaha handcuff lovers. Yeah, I think it might. Josh. That's cute. Oh, the Deuce 4-5. I definitely think that I want to see some cards with this. The Deuce isn't obviously the nicest thing to see. The real question here is, do I want to put in a bet at this? I think probably no is the answer. At least not until I see what happens on the turn. I think in the turn is the place to put my bet in. mean, I think with the low draw that I've got, which is not, it's not a great one. Obviously, Ace 3 has got me beat, and Ace 4, Ace 5 has got me beat, but I think I still need to be involved here. Um, I don't think that there's any value of putting a bet in here. I'm either ahead or behind. I don't think I'm getting weaker hands to call me. I think I'm getting better hands to fold me, so I think I'm just checking back here. Yeah, and we lost both ends there. 10-10, 4-4. I mean, obviously in a Omaha context, you'd be a lot more, like in a high context, you'd be a lot more interested in a hand like that. But I think in a high-low, you're just dumping it. You're just getting rid of it most of the time. Well, I really do like the high-low games. I mean, I think it really makes you stretch your brain out a little bit more. It's funny. I can remember like a year and a half ago at this time, uh, I would say that I couldn't play the mixed games because it made my brain bleed. Um, but that was just the stretching that it wasn't used to, and now that I'm used to the stretching, I actually really like the exercise that I get from playing the split pot games. Yeah, I don't even really have any suits to work with here. If I had some suits, it would be it'd be more interesting. But no, that's just one of those hands you just need to get rid of. As is this one. Looks pretty with the two suits, but you're really weak on all ends. So just dump it, get rid of it. It's been a pretty interesting game so far. I'm not really encountering. I haven't really encountered any players that I just sort of laugh at what they're doing, which I almost invariably do at lower level games, where you just kind of shake your head and go, "What the hell did you think you were doing there?" Um, and in this one, it's everyone that I've come across has been pretty. If there's a fish at the table, I think sadly I'm the fish at the table at this point. But it's fun and it's interesting. I don't really feel like I'm outclassed. I just don't feel like I'm overclassed either, if that makes sense. I feel like I'm in there. Deuce 3, 7, 10. The rainbow obviously makes that weaker. The deuce 3, yeah, that's a nitty fold, I think, but I think it probably is a fold that needs to be made that early a position with a rainbow hand like that. Pair of kings with 10-7. I obviously don't have a low draw. Um, but I think with the kings, you're going to want to see a flop fairly often. So I think I'm calling here just to see what the flop brings. Not a terrible flop, not a great flop for us. Our pair of kings still are probably good for high. I'm guessing that one of these two guys has the king queen straight draw at this point. Not a bad chance that one of them is playing an ace deuce as well and has just hit trips. So both of those, I think, mean that my hand has just lost a fair bit of value. Um, yeah, I think that we got to get, I think we got to get out of there, frankly. Ace deuce three queen. I'm not going to quibble too much about the fact that my ace isn't a suited card, but I think we're definitely going to see a flop with that. I don't think I want to go too crazy, but that's a pretty good flop for my hand, frankly. So I'm going to put some money in the pot. So right, I've got the nut low, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm still drawing for the hearts. I've just hit the hearts with a paired card. I mean, obviously I can't assume that he's got a full house, and I have to be putting money in the pot there. Snakes are pretty big at this point, so every hand is really moving us up and down the Hammer. Awesome, good to see you here. Good to see you here. Glad to have you around. I plan to still be around in a bit, so hopefully that plan will come to fruition. I'm obviously pretty happy with the hand. I don't have the nuts low, but I've got a strong enough hand that I've got to put money in with it in that situation. Going to get rid of the 5-6 Jack 8. I just don't think there's enough value on either end there to really be too involved with it. Got our break coming up here pretty quick. I think 4 minutes or so. It's good to see people hanging out, playing some mixed games, playing some Omaha high-low. Got 20 people left in now, 12 places pay. We are sitting at 9th at the moment. The stakes at this stage, though, are such that every hand, there's a lot of movement. So, we're at 600, 1200. Well, actually, no, sorry, I lied. We're at 1200, 2400 right now. So, even with a stack of 21,000 like I have, it's pretty easy to suddenly find half or three-quarters of your stack in the pot on 5th or 6th Street, right? So you really got to be careful what you're getting involved in at this stage, and every single hand is vital and key at this point in the tournament. I mean, this just doesn't have any low potential. The Jack, Queen, King, 4, so it's just not gonna give you um, a lot of satisfaction very often in a high-low game. 3-4-5-9, on the other hand, is definitely a playable hand. Um, but I think this early in position, I'm just going to get rid of it for now. I feel kind of nitty about that with the spades and all, but there's nose, nut, and the low, it can pretty easily get capped. Hello, Gilly. Good to see ya. Good to see you, Gills. Yeah, that happens to me. Not so much on the Twitch, but on other stuff, I definitely have to do that from time to time. I fired up 888 for the first time in about a year or so yesterday, and had to do that with my password because I had no idea what my password was. Could definitely consider playing the 3-4, but I think you can also pretty easily come up with an argument for folding the 3-4 as well in a spot like that. So. So the deuce 4, certainly stronger than the 3-4, but we're going to be out of position on every street after this. I don't think I want to play. And yeah, we were in pretty bad shape no matter what was happening there. So, alrighty, so that hits the break. I'm going to go off and do some custodial duties. Just as Hammer gets back into the chat, I'm going to head off and do some custodial duties. So you guys chat amongst yourselves, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I am back. Yes, Hammer, you always seem to arrive when I am just about to leave. But we're back now, and got 20 people left in this. I am sitting ninth. There is $560.40 up top for the first place. This is one of the dailies that I've been shooting for. I won it this afternoon. Regged it in me immediately because it happened to be running, and when I basically regged immediately. So this one was a $3.85 satellite that I won to get into this particular tournament. But that said, I'm actually in this for more than $3.85 because I've played not a huge number, but a fair number of sats over the last couple of days for this and other 08s, or this and other dailies. So I have to say I've probably spent close to a $27 buy-in on sats when I won this. So it's not that much of a deal, to be perfectly honest. It is a bit of a satellite win, but it's not that much of a deal. So thank you, Hammer. Thank you, Hammer. Yeah, we're not too far off. There's we just got like 8 people to go before we hit the min cash. 12 people min cash in this one, so we're almost there. We're almost there. And as I was saying earlier, I remember us talking about me going live on this next stream. I just completely forgot to change my settings. So I'm still on a 3-minute delay, unfortunately, but that's simply because I forgot to change my settings before I went live today. And I went live, and I'm like, oh crap! I was gonna go on a delay, or I was gonna take the delay off. So I did not do that, but we'll try again for that next time. You and Gilly can chat amongst yourselves, though. I'll maybe try to pay a little bit more attention in chat as well, since and actually type straight into chat, since there's not that many of us around, and I'm not doing a huge amount on the stream. Although I do, obviously, it's a $27 tournament with a fairly big prize up top, so I kind of do want to give it my 100% attention. The 2 suits is definitely makes this an attractive possibility. But I think it just has to go because it's just not strong enough on either end to really withstand a lot of pressure, I don't think. So it's one of those ones that if I raised it I'd be really hoping that everybody just folded to me and gave it to me at that stage, and we didn't have to go any farther, because if we go any farther, it starts to look like a worse and worse hand to be involved with. Same thing with that one. The 3-4s can obviously turn into a really strong low hand, but they have to turn into it. So the difference between 3-4 can turn into the nuts. Ace Deuce already is the nuts, if that makes any sense, and it has to, you have to have a horrible flop to turn it into anything other than the nuts. Whereas with 3-4, it's not a horrible low hand, but unless an ace or a deuce comes on the flop, you're not happy with it if somebody else is seems to be betting heavily on what would appear to be a low draw for them. So, yeah, that's sort of the way you got to look at hands like that. I think, anyways, sort of the way you have to look at those hands. Yeah, it could have a very nice bankroll boost here with things going the right way, as you say. A bit of good play, a bit of luck put together is probably what we need for this. I'm not really feeling like I'm outclassed by anybody here, but I also don't really feel like I'm better than anybody here, if that makes sense. I actually feel like it's a pretty even match so far from everything that I've seen, and so yeah, I don't feel like I don't belong here, but I definitely don't feel like I'm better than everybody else. And I definitely don't feel like I can play that hand for a 3-bet. Well, that's sort of the way I'm looking at it, and I wasn't too upset about the idea. Um, about spending money on sats and even going over. If I'd spent $35 on sats, I still wouldn't have been all that perturbed about it. Simply because I sort of expect if I've spent $35 on sats and haven't won anything, I sort of expect that at some point I'm going to win 2 or 3 tickets in a row, which balances that out. So maybe that's not going to be the case, but it seems to be. Um, but seems to be the way to go. Right, so we got a pair of kings and we got the nut low draw, so I think we're definitely involved in this pot. Do we want to put it in for raises? I think we want to see a flop before we start throwing a crap load of chips in here. That's clearly not the low flop that I want to, that I really wanted. I think my high is still going to be good most of the time. Um, my low has just gotten a lot weaker, obviously. My high's not even good a lot of times now, so I've pretty much got to get out of here at this stage. It's really frustrating because a hand that's this strong pre-flop, you just hate when this sort of thing happens. But I really don't see how this is a hand in any direction, and I just can't continue with it. Thank you, Hammer. I appreciate the fact that you think I'm making good folds, but making good folds means that uh, I have to fold, and I'm giving chips to somebody else. So that's kind of disturbing in this case, and it's But hey, I appreciate that, and I guess making good folds is better than making bad calls, I guess. So I'll take that praise anyways. Uh, yeah, I think the 8-4. We're getting rid of that. All spades, obviously not something you really want to see in an Omaha context. Um, yeah, if I ship this, I'm pretty much staying away from the free rolls probably. But well, even if I ship this, it's only 560. I mean, I say only 560. Obviously, it'd be a huge boost to my bankroll, but it's still not in the realm of $27 tournaments. It's still only 20 buy-ins. So not that significant really. No, I agree. This tourney is a good place to improve. This tourney is a good place to sort of see how the better players are playing, see where, see if I can find spots where they're maybe exploiting me. Because I think that's happened a few times when I've gotten into the bigger non-hold'em tournaments like this. But yeah, it's been fun tonight. I've really enjoyed it. And I mean, I'm not talking like I'm finished or anything. This is I'm expecting to cash and go deep in this. I'm expecting to take it down. We're looking to take it down. Oh God, this hand was just gross. This hand was just gross that I'm watching now on the stream. The King King Ace Deuce hand, just gross. Ace ace, suited ace with the king, and an 8 ace low draw. Obviously not the best low draw in the world, but I really don't think I can justify, nor do I want to justify, not getting involved with a pair of aces and a nutted flush draw. Habibi, we saw earlier in the tournament, is on the first table we were at. I think that's a good flop for a pair of aces usually. I mean, I guess there's going to be some 10-9s out there, but that's not really a hand that people are going to play a ton in. There are going to be random nines, obviously, out there. I think I'm not shutting down, but I think I'm check calling at this point. So there's no low. It doesn't feel like anybody's got a pair of nines, but I really don't think that there's a value bet here for me. I'm not getting a 9 to fold. There's really nothing else that's beating me at this point. So I really don't think that anything. Yeah, I mean, I don't think that I'm getting calls from. Thanks, Hammer. I appreciate that. It's gross when you have a hand that's that powerful pre-flop and it just goes to hell uh, by the fourth by Fourth Street. It's just it's just gross, right? So that was a nice little pot we just took, sitting ninth now out of 16. Um, Definitely in cashing territory now. Nice to see. Say hi in chat, all the new viewers out there. Say howdy. Let us know what you're doing. I don't know if my Australian friend Sharon is tuned in or not, but if she has, how you doing, Sharon? Good to see you. Haven't seen any moose around me today, but maybe later. UK Hammer is very lovely. I agree with you, Josh. Wonderful, wonderful to have Hammer here doing the mod for me, hanging out with us all the time. It is great. Alrighty, so that puts us down to 15 left in the tournament. I am still sitting in ninth. 3 people to go until we're in the money. Ninth through 12th gets paid just over $50. We'll have a quick look here. $50.94. Oh, 10th through 12th gets paid $50.94. Ninth is 61.12. And then it just balloons from there. First $560.40. Now, I think with two suits, people are often tempted to play hands like this. In the high-low context, it's just really gonna not work out well for you in the long run. Because you got no low, um, and even though the two suits will sometimes pay off for you, they look at deceptively stronger than they actually are because people are going to be playing the nutted suits there a lot. and you don't have any nutted suits. So it's really not a great place to be. Thank you, Amber. I appreciate that. Yeah, I enjoyed that one. I think it was the way it had to go. I'm just glad that the board worked out for me on that one. Yes, good luck to everybody on their poker plans for 2014. This, of course, is one of my poker plans for 2014 to start satelliting into the big daily and weekly non-hold'em tournaments. So this is the first case of said satelliting into tournaments happening. 14 people left, so we are 2 away from the money. I am sitting 9th out of those 14, flipping between 9th and 10th. I was just 10th for a couple of seconds there. Win some extra dough, I get hammer, and spend it on glass. What kind of glass are you spending it on? Go ahead and paste a link for that subversive cross stitch, Gilly. Those are cool. In the meantime, I'm still planning to take down this daily Omaha high-low. This Habibi on my left, I played with him early in the tournament. Very solid player. We're definitely going to want to keep an eye on what he's doing. Get the spade draw there, and the spade draw bricks out. Oh, but he does win a pair. Full house nines, full of threes. I think this is definitely one we want to get involved in. The H3 suited ace. Definitely something we're interested in. Clearly the spades is not what I was looking for. Check calling this most of the time. Cool. Cool hammer. So you're after right. So we've basically got a pretty weak hand here, but I think I'm actually surprised that I took that one down, but glass, bongs, and pipes. That's cool. That's cool, hammer. Oh, king 9-5. King 9-5. Can I call with just the king and no high? I don't think I can. I don't think I can. Alrighty, so we're in the money. That puts us in the money, ladies and gentlemen. We just had a double knockout, and there's 12 people left. And so we are now guaranteed $50.94 in this tournament. That's going to change my playing strategy somewhat. I'm double suited here. I've got a very nice ace suit on one, uh, queen suit on the other. Oh, and we just hit three of a kind queens, so I'm pretty happy with the spot we're in here. There's going to be no low, so we don't have to worry about getting an ace deuce capping out our low. Not thrilled, obviously, with the diamond, but we've got a lot of outs to the full house, and he thought we had diamonds anyways, so I'm pretty happy with that situation. 95, king 10. I can get rid of that. I don't have to really worry too much about that. It's funny, Hammer, that's exactly what Gilly said when she sent me the link. You know, I could get into cross stitch if it was like this. I'm thinking about doing some now. That's kind of funny. I obviously could play this. In this case, I'm going to fold it, I think. Alrighty, so currently sitting 6th of 12 remaining in this. I've got the prizes up on the screen in the lobby there, so you can have a look at what we're playing. Thank you, Hammer. Thank you, Hammer. This is one of those. I think heads up, I'm going to want to at least see a flop on this and see what we get. So we've hit second pair here. There's really no reason that Trails King has to have a big pair at this point or have hit the king. We're also drawing low and clubs now, so I think putting money in the pot is probably the way to go. I don't think folding here is ever going to be the right move with what we've got at this stage. I also don't think raising is ever really going to be the right move at this stage, so we're just going to see what comes on the there. That gives us two pair. Am I going to fold out any better hands? Probably not. Am I going to get weaker hands to call me? I might get an ace-queen to call me, but I really think that the value bet's probably pretty thin at this point, probably thinner than it needs ace-queen. I don't know. Does ace-queen call me there? I'd love to. I would love to get your guys' opinion on that. Does the ace-king or does the ace-queen call my value bet there when there's no low to be played? I'm curious. I don't know whether I missed. I don't know whether I missed a value, whether I missed the value bet there or not. Not thrilled with pairing my 4. That was one of my stronger low cards, so I'm having to play the 8 now. I don't know if I'm check calling here or check folding. I think the 8, 6, 7 ace is probably beat and going to remain beat. The pair of 4s is also, yeah, I just don't really think I've got any value here, frankly. Thank you, Gilly. Thank you, everyone. Ace, ace, king, 6. We've got suited diamonds, or we got nutted diamonds, I should say. Um, Obviously, our low isn't as strong as it could be, but I think that we need to get heavily involved in an ace-ace pot here. Hitting the 6 was probably one of the worst things that could happen. I don't know if what Kev Bucks is wanting to play here. Um, we've obviously got the club blocker, so that helps in that respect. Um, the 6, obviously now with all the straights out there, it's just gross for a pair of aces. That said, can I go anywhere? Don't really think I can go anywhere. I think that we split this pot a reasonable amount. I think that I lose all of it a reasonable amount as well when he has a straight. But I also think that he just bets on low as well sometimes. Or I lose both hands on or I lose both hands on that. I really don't think that I can afford to fold at that stage in that pot anymore. So you got the nut low, deuce ace. Still got the nut low with the 8-3 coming up. Nothing really doing on the high end, but I'm not too worried about that at the moment. We'll see what comes on the turn for that. So this has given us the nut low. Pretty happy with that situation, obviously. I think a lot of times we're going to take this whole pot down when we bet there. It's one of the reasons why you bet just your low draws. You get to take the pot down a lot when you wouldn't necessarily take a high. People will look at their pair of fours and go, well, I can't possibly be good with a pair of fours, right? When in fact they would be good for half the pot with a pair of fours. So, that's one of the reasons that you bet in those situations when you know you don't really have a winning high, but you've got a low that's nutted out and you're going to do great on. So again, we're playing the nut low, pair of deuces, got backdoor hearts, which don't come through, and we don't have any lows going now, so our hand is pretty weak at this stage. I think we're check. I think we're probably giving up. Now, do I call a bet by Habib? I mean, obviously Habib is seeing me check and thinking that I'm giving up, so this could easily be a bet with a pretty marginal hand. But I think that a bet with nothing on this stage is pretty slim, and nothing is really all I can beat. So we're getting out of here. Nice, Josh. Well, good luck, man. I hope you go. Which hand do you want me to replay, Hammer? I'm not sure which hand you're talking about now. Oh, the one where I asked you whether I get value from the ace queen there. Um, yeah, when we go on break, I'll highlight that one. Let's go down here and see if I can find. Uh, I think I'm going to get rid of that one. I need to find the hand that we were talking about first. Not sure I can find the hand that we're. Alrighty, yeah, two suits, nutted suit, and an ace deuce. I can't really get five ace deuce. I can't really do anything about that. Oh yeah, we're pretty happy with this situation. I think we're just throwing chips into the pot as much as we can at this point. Obviously, that deuce at the end of the day is pretty unhappy for us, but clearly we're not going anywhere with our nut flush. So, boom! A little bit of binkage there for us. That's always nice to see. Puts us in third spot out of 12. Still 12 people left. I'm actually surprised we haven't seen somebody bust. Small stacks are 6,000 and 9,000, and those guys are basically at these stakes getting it all in with just a couple of bets. So they're on life support at this stage. This, ladies and gentlemen, is not a high-low hand. No low possibilities whatsoever. Pretty weak high possibilities. So obviously, there's really only two possibilities here. You're either clicking the fold button or you're clicking the raise button. In a limit game, there's limited value in bluff raising weak hands like that. Really, the only spot is where you've got a couple of really passive players in front of you. None of the players at this table have I labeled as passive in any way. They all seem to know exactly what they're doing. So deuce four, clubs, the seven. You could definitely get involved with this, but I can easily argue for folding as well. Yeah, we're getting rid of that in the high-low context. That's something you might consider in a high maybe, but that's Alrighty. I'm gonna do a little bit of Twitter promotion now that we're actually at the final table, or not at the final table, but in the money. Queen, queen. Yeah, we're getting rid of that, I think. So let's do a quick Twitter. Do a quick Twitter share. ITM. But hold on. ITMN. And boom, the tweet goes out. Let's hope we get a few more people. I see we've actually got a few folks out there. Nice to see everybody. Say hi in chat. We're a very friendly bunch here. We are on a 3-minute delay, roughly. Of course, this is Twitch, so it's like 3.5 minutes or so. But yeah, we're having some fun. In the money on the daily Omaha high-low. Got into this on a ticket that I won about an hour into registration. We finished that tournament, so auto-registered me in this, and I jumped in, and here we are, sitting fourth out of 12. Sitting fourth out of 12. Thank you, Hammer. I appreciate that. Yes, we're hopefully, hopefully moving ahead here. I'm pretty happy with the spot. I'm still quite surprised that we still have 12 people left in the tournament. Frankly, I was sure that the smaller stacks would have gone by now. But in fact, we still have two stacks under 10,000, and it's quite surprising. Do 4-6. I think we're gonna get rid of that. We did lose somebody. Now we're down to 11 people left. That's cool. Deuce 3 Jack Queen. Obviously, my diamonds aren't nutted, so that's not the best thing in the world. But I certainly think with the raise and a call, I'm getting the odds to see what we do here. And with the Deuce 3, as soon as an ace comes on the flop, I'm loving life. Not really loving life with an 8-3 like that. The Queen isn't a horrible thing for me. Do I have value to bet on this? I think I probably do want to bet here. I can fool people out sometimes. And that's going to be good for me since my low is really pretty much dead at this point. So I'm really only counting on my. Well, I've now got. Well, I guess I had two pair before as well, the queens and threes. So I mean, I think I'm still in the same high spot I was before. The low hands are obviously splitting with me. And I think at this stage, there's no value for me in betting anymore. We're splitting this pot, I think, almost 100% of the time. So yeah. I guess I can try to push him off. Yeah, I was kind of getting away with my getting ahead of myself there. So we have the deuce actually helps our hand a fair bit because it makes our 5 a lot stronger of a low because the people that were playing ace deuce is the nuts no longer have the nuts. They just paired they just paired the deuce. Obviously, we don't have much for high at the moment. The pair of tens could easily be capped by a queen. But I think that at this stage, there's really nothing we can do but be involved in this. I tweeted the ITM hype for sure. Tweeted the ITM hype. I think my set of tens is not always going to be good here. I obviously think that there's going to be hearts out there a fairly frequent amount with this raise by Fenster. But I also think that Fenster could be playing a low with no hearts. So, I mean, I think that I'm losing this a fair bit of the time, but I think I've also got the odds to put it in. I haven't seen a dart surge anywhere, Josh, but it's entirely possible that we haven't crossed paths yet. There's still 2 tables left in this tournament. Down to 10, I just noticed. I didn't see that one go out. Not thrilled with this flop. Really not thrilled with this flop at this point. I think there's just at this point checking through is the way to go. Yeah, I mean, I just didn't think that I was going to be winning that often enough to be putting any money in. I think with a pair of eights, the ace and the 8-7 suited connectors, I think we're wanting to get involved there. Also with the big blind being such a small stack. So we've got a set of eights. There is the club draw that's out there, quite possibly. And obviously there could be an 8-9. Although in a high-low game, the 8-9 is going to be a lot less frequent than something like if you're looking at a 3-4 with that is going to be a lot more frequent. There's no way that I can get away from calling this, I don't think. So yeah, I'm just doing this almost all the time. And that's it. So we have just done. We're at the final table now of. We are now at the final table of the daily. We are at the final table. This now means we are guaranteed 61.12 for a min cash now. Welcome all the viewers. Dazzler, good to see you. Thank you, Dazzler. Good to see you here. I appreciate you coming by. Click the follow button if you be so inclined. We would love to see you back again. We're gonna do our best to take this sucker down. We are gonna do our best to take this sucker down. We are going to take this sucker down. Right, was going to do a quick tweet. Do another quick tweet here. So, final table of Rail Me. There we go. Yeah, Dazzler, I did a bunch of low buy-in free roll mixed game stuff last year in November and December, just because I've seen so many people stream on No Limit Hold'em, there's no other games other than No Limit Hold'em and the odd Pot Limit Omaha out there. So I thought, well, people want to see other things, right? I think so. Yeah, I put this stream together, anything but Hold'em, to play all the other games. So we play we play Badoogie, we play all the high-low games, we play all the mixed games like Horse and things like that. So yeah, no, it's cool. It's great to see everybody here. Great to see everybody here. Fun to have a rail. Fun to have a rail. Vamos, as our good friend Mr. Staples has just given me on his chat stream. Ooh! This is the sort of high-low hand that high-low players dream about at night. We wake up with all sorts of wet covers and things because we've had these incredibly exciting dreams about hands like Ace 3-4 with a suited Ace 4, things like that. Finster has played aggressively against us before. Do I want to cap with a hand like this at this point? And I think I do want to cap against him at this stage because I think we're pretty strong most of the time against his range. That's obviously one of the worst flops we could have seen with our hand. And clearly it looks like he's now playing a pair that we probably aren't going to cap. Frustrating as hell, but we got to get out of the hand there. It's frustrating as crap, but not much we can do, I don't think. Steve-O! Good to see you, buddy. We have Captain Kirk in the house. Good friend Steve-O Pick from the Poker School online home games. We're going to do our best to take this down. Frustrating that Fenster just went and took a bunch of our chips there, but there's really no way we were going to get through on that hand. I think maybe capping it pre-flop. Again, I really think capping pre-flop in a game like this is usually pretty silly. There's very few hands that I think it's worth doing with. And the more I think about it, my ace 3-4-7 was probably not one of those hands that I wanted to cap with. So yeah, I can probably put that one straight back on myself. Ace king, 6-ace low. I'm not suited in anything, but I think obviously for the odds, I have to see a flop anyways. The jack queen, I'm not horrified by this, and I think we're definitely putting our friend here in. So, and oh, we split pot. Oh, he had a 6 too. I didn't see that. Yeah, well, and I think that there's value in these high-low mixed stuff as well. Oh God, pair of aces. I really wish my low draw was better here. I probably should be capping. That's probably one of those hands that I should be capping with. What with the nutted heart draw here. But I really am not liking the low that I'm sitting with there. Well, that's a pretty good flop for my hand, I think, a lot of the time. So I'm going to put a bet in. I probably should have let Fenster. I probably should have checked and let Fenster go. That was actually a really stupid bet. That was like a really dumb bet. In fact, but now that I'm thinking about it. It's great, Dazzler. Well, good to have you around, and hope you keep playing. Ace Deuce, definitely not getting rid of that on the button. I've learned my lesson with. Win the Super Tuesday. I've just got the nut low here, so I'm still pretty happy with where I am. My prediction at this point is that Fenster is going to be the first one off this table. The way that he's been playing tends to make me think that. Yes, I won't wee in my seat, Josh. Well, that just bites. I mean, my hands are just drawn out horribly. Wow, how do I win that? How do I win that with kings and eights? How do I win that hand? I have no idea how we get there, and I have the best hand with kings and eights there. That just seems unfathomable to me. But hey, that's cool. I'll take it. 3, 6, 7, 10. I think I'm going to let other people contest this one. You know, Josh, I've often thought about the perfect workstation that would include a toilet function and a cooking station and all manner of things like that. But I just think it would cost too much to make, and I'd probably blow too many breakers when I plugged everything in that I wanted to put on it. So probably wouldn't work so well. I'm also guessing I probably don't want to grind 10 hours of online poker on top of the same place that I shit and piss. Probably not gonna make my grinding experience the pleasantest in the world. I don't think. Deuce 4-4 king. I think I got to see a flop here. Set of fours on the flop. That's clearly the sort of flop we were looking for with our hand. People betting into us. Going to be diamond draws out there a lot, I think. Do we want to be raising a set of fours? I mean, I think that the odds of us having the best hand right now are very high. Um, but I think, well, and obviously that, that's what happens is the diamonds come in and, don't have a whole lot of choice. So with the diamonds and Fenster, I mean, I really don't think I can go anywhere at this stage. I've obviously got three cards I can pair for. Oh well, if I should have said I had four cards I can pair to improve my hand because I was actually not thinking of pairing the four. But nice to see Fenster actually betting into me with my four of a kind this time. There is lows that I'm going to be splitting with sometimes, but obviously I'm wanting to put as much money uh, in the pot as possible. Yeah, I'm finding it pretty soft myself. I mean, I'm by no means a pro, but yeah, I'm finding some of this pretty soft play there. Fenster's now blaming that pot on Amaya Gaming, having set up my win there, folks. So there you go. I should go to Montreal and thank Amaya. Yeah, I totally want to play. I totally want to play the 25 game next week. I think I'm going to be trying to play the Raz tomorrow. If I have the chance to do that. I think I get a snow day, which will be cool, and that means that I'll be able to play. I'm losing to an ace deuce, ace three here. I really don't think I can get away, but and we didn't take any of that there. We lost to the three. Oh, that was not the button I wanted to push there. That was a misclick. I should be playing that one. Um, yeah, as it turned out, that probably wasn't the best. I don't know whether I would have. Yeah, I think I would have actually won that in the end. So I get the feeling that Fenster is going to be a little bit tilty towards me now for a while. So I definitely think that we've got value here, and I'm not going anywhere with do not low. Seems seems like a reasonable way for it to come out. Come on, that was only two sets of quads, I think. Yeah, I get disappointed now when I don't hit quads. It's like, well, what the hell? I've actually got to like put my chips out there with a full house now. What's going on? Um, right. So, well, that bites. Our low draw is out. We don't have a high, so we're out of the pot. And we're on to the break. So I'm gonna go mute my mic and take off and do some custodial duties. I'll be back. Oh yeah, I mean, just the Amaya thing. It's obviously just booked. Wondering if I should talk to people about a deal at this point. I honestly don't think so, but what do you guys think? Let me know while we're on break in the chat, and I'll be back. Yeah, so I'm definitely thinking that I don't want to talk deal, at least not at this stage. Maybe a little later as I get farther down, but I think right now I don't want to talk deal. But I'm welcome to your guys's uh, welcome for your guys' suggestions as well. Yeah, no, I think I'm actually going to agree with Josh that I think I've got everything to take it down. That's okay, Daz. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate it. Yeah, I was actually thinking three-handed hammer for when I might start thinking about a deal. But yeah, no, Dazzler, absolutely. You're taking your wife for breakfast is absolutely the thing to do. But hey, when you come back from breakfast, I'll be heads up for the $560 up top here. So come back and check it out. See you, Daz. Appreciate you coming by and checking it out. Yep. No, I'm with you, Josh. I think I'm certainly not dealing at this point. I might start thinking about it at three-handed or four-handed, but for the time being, I am not going to be talking deal. Do 6, 9, 10. With the hearts, obviously non-nutted suits are fairly weak in this game. Now, the times that I play non-netted suits is when I'm like 2-3, 2-4, when I can use both of the suited cards to play a low hand. But with only the six deuce here, I mean, I really don't think. Although I suppose for the 5-1 odds, I can't really justify not seeing the flop. Um, and it's a pretty good flop for a deuce six, frankly. The ace deuce is still going to take me out, but I'm still pretty good on a low. So. And that ace is like the godsend for me. Obviously, a four deuce still beats me, but the four deuce is not out there very often at this stage. I don't. Well, I think it probably is actually after the flop. Now that I think about it, whether it was in this one pre is another question. It's hard to say at this point actually whether I'm owning myself here or not. The ace definitely makes my deuce a little stronger. It's the six that I'm really worried about because the four deuce obviously is the one hand that beats me here, and that's out there, and that's also going to take the high down as well. So that's going to be like a scoop pot. So that was quite the tank for that raise there. Was quite the tank on that raise. That was interesting. I'm not really sure what to make of that. Uh, I'm not sure what to make of that, actually. I don't think I can fold, but I'm not sure what to make of that like tank raise that she had. I think